Good morning, guys. This is your teacher Wilman once again. Welcome to another video for our virtual classes. This video is gonna be about unit number 6. You remember that we already finished unit number 5. Anyway, we have some pending exercises that we're going to check in one of our video conferences that we're going to have. Anyway, I'm gonna let you know the day and the time we're going to have it. So don't worry about it. We're gonna have it in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so I would like to start this class today with a video that I consider is really interesting. It's about something that we worked on class, and it's about tongue twisters. Okay, with this video, you can start the video, you can practice. The idea is that you can practice with the person, okay? The girl that is going to show you the tongue twisters, and she's going to try to pronounce them. And I want you to go with her, or if you want to start the video and practice, it's okay. I mean, that's up to you. You can do it as you think or as you consider is the best way for you. So I'm going to show you the tongue twister, and then we're going to go straight forward to unit number 6.
At EnglishClass101.com.
Yeah! Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are phrases that are difficult to say, so they're really good chances to practice your pronunciation. Let's go. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. This one's difficult because of the s and sh sounds. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. That one's not so bad. Okay, we'll move on. Next. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. I've never seen this before. Okay. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. That's a good one. That's a good one. I feel like you could have thrown the word but in there somewhere too. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. Ah, that's a good one. It's very bubbly. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. It's like if I knew the words, I could probably say it faster. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. Butter's bitter. Bitter, butter, bitter. But she bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. Is this enough? I don't know when to stop. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? The next tongue twister is also a classic one about woodchucks. Woodchucks are real creatures that exist on the west coast of the United States, primarily in Washington and Oregon. They're like beavers, but they don't live in rivers. They live in forests and rocks. The tongue twister is, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And then there's a common response to that, which is, it would chuck all the wood that a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. We definitely talked about this one in that English topics episode we did about tongue twisters. Lesser leather, never weathered, wetter weather better. Oh, I've never seen this. Lesser leather, never weathered, wetter weather better? Hang on, I'm just astounded by the grammar of this sentence. Lesser leather, never weathered, wetter weather better. Oh, that's hard. It's the wetter weather better. Wetter weather better part. Those last 3 words. Lesser leather, never weathered, wetter better. Lesser leather, never weathered, wetter weather better. Wetter weather better. Weather. It's the weather better that's hard. Weather better. Weather better, weather better, wetter weather better. Yeah, that's it. Lesser leather, never weathered, wetter weather better. On to the next one. If 2 witches would watch 2 watches, which witch would watch which watch? If 2 witches would watch 2 watches, which witch would watch which watch? Did you write these? Did you find these on the internet? Someone's brilliant. If 2 witches would watch 2 watches, which witch would watch which watch? Oh, that one's a good one. If 2 witches would watch 2 watches, which witch would watch which witch would watch which watch? All right, that's the end. Wow, those are really good tongue twisters. The one that always gets me from that episode of English Topics that we did was Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Hard one. And one we came up with the other day was sushi session. It's a good one, right? Yeah. They were like, let's go for a sushi session. I was like, that's hard. Sushi session, sushi session, sushi. That's a really good one too. Irish wristwatch and sushi session. All right, so those are Those are tongue twisters. Give them a try. They are really, really great ways to practice your pronunciation. If you know any other tongue twisters, please share them with us in a comment so that we can all give them a try. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Top Words. If you liked this video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks very much for watching this episode, and we'll see you again soon. Bye! Yeah. Oh my god, I want to...
So, very interesting, right? Very interesting video about tongue twister. So, I hope that you can practice your pronunciation different times. So, you know that in tongue twisters, the main idea is to practice pronunciation. That's why we have combinations of TH sound, CH sound, SH sound, or R sounds, T sounds. I hope you remember if two witches will watch two watches, which witch would watch which watch. So I want you to continue practicing. So guys, we're gonna go straight forward. We're gonna go to work. We're gonna get to work, sorry. So I want you to pay attention. We're gonna go through vocabulary first, then we're gonna review what the book says, and then we're gonna try to move to the grammar part, okay? So here we go. So we're gonna start, as I told you, unit number 6. But I think this is the first part for unit number 6 because, you know, to me it is kind of overwhelming to see a 3-hour video or a 4-hour video. So I think it's better to divide the unit in 2 or 3 videos lasting 1 to 1 hour or 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna start the vocabulary with learning through pictures. As you can see here, the first picture that shows here is the security screening. Security screening is, you know, as you can see, the place that you have to go through when you go to the airport in order to check what you have inside your body, or if you're having, or if you're carrying any medicine or any gun or something like it. So the next 2 words are overhead bins and flat tire. Flat tire is very obvious with this picture, and the overhead bin is this place in on an airplane in which you can put your luggage, but the luggage that you can carry with your hand, with your hands. Like for example, this one that is here, as you can see, this is the overhead bin on an airplane. Okay, pay attention to these words. Okay, first of all, this is a tow truck. When you park illegally on the street, then the tow truck comes in order to take your car to the, I think it's to the police station. I'm not sure about it, but I think it's to the police station. And when this happens to us, then we say that we got in the past, or the expression is to get towed for parking illegally. It means when the tow truck comes and takes your car. Okay, but not all the time do we use this verb in this way. But we also have this verb like this. We say to tow a vehicle, which means to pull it along with a rope. This is a rope here. It means that, for example, let's say that you're going to Santa Marta and you're going with a friend and you're going into different cars, but your friend's car suddenly broke down, and then you need to tow your friend's car, which means to use that rope between the 2 cars in order to pull it along. Okay, so that's basically the way that we use tow, or to get towed for parking illegally. Okay, pay attention to this difference that I'm gonna try to teach you. Okay, first of all, look at this. I don't know if you know this, but we call this kind of bag, we call it duffel bag. Okay, duffel bag. So sorry, I wanted to show you this, or to mention this, because I know that some people, when they travel, they use a lot these duffel bags. Okay, pay attention. Suitcase. This word refers to the picture that you can see here. And this word is cannibal. You can say you have 1 suitcase, 2 suitcases, 3 suitcases. But pay attention to this. Let's say that you're going to travel to USA and you have your suitcase. And when you have your suitcase, your mother's suitcase, your father's suitcase, your brother's suitcase, and your sister's suitcase, then the amount of suitcases that you have, we call them luggage. This thing that is here, we call them luggage. All the amount of all the luggage, all the suitcases, we call them luggage, because luggage is a word or is a noun that refers to the amount of suitcases that you have, and luggage is uncountable. We can't say luggages, 3 luggages, 4 luggages, because it's someone's luggage. Okay, it's your family's luggage. Okay, but we can say that I have 2 suitcases, my mother has 3 suitcases, and my father has 4 suitcases, for example. But all them together, we call them luggage. Okay, and it is uncountable. Okay, this word baggage. Baggage refers to the items that we're gonna take to another country, or that we're going to pack. Uh, um, all these items together, we call them baggage. So when you have your baggage ready, or when you have your baggage packed up, then we can say that that's your luggage. Okay, luggage basically refers to the packed things that you're gonna carry with you, and baggage means to the items that you're carrying. Okay, so I hope it's clear. If you have any question, or if something is not clear, then anyway, don't hesitate. You can ask whatever question that you have about these topics. Okay, so we're gonna move to this part here. I want you to open your books. We're gonna go to the first page, which is on page 62. We're gonna talk about traveling. Troubles. Why traveling? You know that the word troubles, it means problems. Okay, or we also have another word, which is hassles. Hassles, but we're gonna see that word later. Okay, it says the practical traveler. It says, hey, travel hassles, enter the travel tip contest. Okay, you're gonna try to do this exercise here, but we're gonna review some vocabulary here, which is the one that we were discussing some minutes ago. It says inedible or not food on flights. Inedible is the kind of food that you cannot eat. Okay, inedible food. Okay, and unexpected checked baggage fees. Okay, fees are when you go to the airport or you're gonna travel somewhere, depending on the amount of suitcases or baggages that you have, you need to pay a fee. A fee is like an amount of money that you pay for each suitcase. Okay, so depending on the amount of suitcases that you have, depending on your luggage, you have to pay a fee. Okay, carry-on luggage fees. A carry-on luggage is the one that you can carry with you. That you know that when we're gonna fly or when we travel, we have to divide the luggage, the kind of luggage that you can't carry on. Okay, and the one that you can carry with you. So we also have insufficient room in overhead bins. Insufficient room is like not enough space in the overhead bins. As I show you the overhead bins, the part I show you on an airplane, in which you can like put your carry-on luggage. So overbooked flights. We also have missed connections, lost luggage, long lines at check-in, and security screening. You know the phrase of check-in. To check in is to register when you get to the airport, and check out is when you arrive to the place where you're going to, and then you have to go to like a reception place or a front desk in which you have to check out in order to go out of the airport. Items confiscated by security. So items confiscated by security, for example, if you're carrying a gun or something like that, or maybe you're carrying something that you didn't pay taxes for, then they can confiscate those kind of things because they are illegal. So car travel is a mechanical breakdowns. It's like mechanical breakdowns is when your car stops working because of a mechanical issue or something like flat tire, parking tickets, and getting towed for parking illegally. Children arguing in the back seat. Okay, the back seat is the back side of the car. Finding the bathroom, getting lost, traffic jams. Those are the kind of problems that we usually have when we travel by car. Okay, traffic jams. Yeah, that's a really hassle. Other travel hazards. Okay, hassle. I'm gonna tell you this word. Hassle is an inconvenience when we travel in, and it's really like annoying, something that really bothers you. That's a hassle. Okay, so when we travel by bus, for example, here as you can see is a picture taken from Transmilenio or Translow. No, I'm kidding. So we have poor air conditioning or heating. Okay, when it's not enough for the amount of people that is traveling, no phone service or Wi-Fi access, delays, and unexpected bus or train delays. A delay is when something doesn't happen on time. Okay, for example, the train was going to arrive at. They said the train was going to arrive at 8, and it's 8:30, and the train hasn't arrived. That's a delay. Okay, uncomfortable seats. What did I do here? Okay, comfortable seats, dirty bathrooms, and loud or rude passengers. Loud is when the passenger is making a lot of noise, and rude is when someone answers like in a bad way, like not in the best way. So those are the kind of inconveniences that we have or hassles that we have when we travel by plane, by car, or any other means of transportation. Okay, good. So let me do something here. We're gonna go to this part here, which is the conversation that we have on next page on the spotlighted language between Edison and Yuhi, I think. Is a Portuguese guy and a Japanese guy. So we're gonna first listen to it and then we're gonna check the vocabulary, okay? Good. And then so I need to do this because, for you to listen to it.
Read and listen to two friends talking about a travel hassle on a business trip. Notice the spotlighted language.
Oh no, my folder's missing. It had my passport and my boarding pass in it.
Uh-oh. Try to think. When did you see it last? Was it at the hotel?
Let's see, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I remember now. I just finished printing out the boarding pass when the front desk called to say the airport limo was waiting downstairs. So I got my stuff together and split.
Do you think you could have left a folder in the room? Or at the front desk when you checked out? Or what about in the limo?
Well, I distinctly remember looking back at the seat of the limo before I slammed the door, just to check that I hadn't left anything. And I hadn't. It's got to be in the hotel.
Well, don't freak out. It's a safe bet they'll find it in the hotel.
You know, if I hadn't been rushing for the limo, this wouldn't have happened. The way I see it, I have no choice but to go back to the hotel. I'll grab a cab outside. You go on. You need to catch that plane.
Okay.
But if that folder isn't at the hotel, I'm toast. If it weren't for my stupid mistake, I wouldn't be going through this hassle. What'll happen if I miss the dinner?
Well, you'll cross that bridge when you come to it. But hey, no sweat. If the folder's there, you can be back in time to make the 4 o'clock. We can meet up later. The dinner's not till 7.
Okay, I'm off. Keep your fingers crossed.
Okay, as you can see here, we have some interesting words here in this part, in this conversation that is basically is full of vocabulary. It says, "Oh no, my folder's missing." it had my passport and my boarding pass in it. So you know that the boarding pass is the kind of document that you use, that you show to the person that is at the gate of the at the door of the airplane. So you show your boarding pass and then you can go inside the plane. So I'll try to think. When did you see it last? When did you see it last? That's another way to ask the question. When was the last time that you saw? When was the last time that you saw it? So we say, when did you see it last? It's like a simpler way to say it, because in the other one we're using an embedded question. Was it at the hotel? So let's see. I'm drawing in a blank. Okay, we're gonna see the next question later. Oh, I remember now. I just finished printing out the boarding pass when the front desk called to say the airport limo was waiting downstairs. The limo, you know, it's an abbreviation that we use for limousine. So I got my stuff together and split. Okay, stuff is like your things. Okay, you already know that. Together and split. Split is another way that we have in English to say to leave. Okay, instead of saying and I left, we say and a split. Okay, that's another way to say leave, to leave. And do you think you could have left a folder in the room or in the front desk? Okay, check out. Okay, once again, as you can see, the phrase over I told you that when we arrive to the airport, we have to check in, and then when we are going to leave the airport, we have to check out. Okay, look at this word here. Before I slam the door. Okay, slam the door. I'm gonna try to show you. Yeah, this is to slam the door, as you can see here, this gift. But in this slam the door, we can use it for a house, we can use it for our bedrooms door, we can use it for cars. But slam the door is basically to do what the guy is doing, no matter what door you're using. It has to slam the door. Okay, good. So yeah, this part it says I'll grab a cab. Okay, to grab is another way to say to take, and a cab is taxi. Okay, is basically the same. Cab and taxi, same thing. Grab and take, same thing. So you go on, it means like you don't stop, you just continue, and then I catch up. It says you need to catch the plane. To catch the plane is like to board. Okay. Okay, hassle, the word I already told you that is an inconvenience, that is like really annoying. And it says here, the phrase over to meet up is to get together again. Okay, or later. Meet up later. Okay. So now we're gonna see those expressions here. I'm drawing a blank. It's a safe bet. And we say the way I see it, I'm toast. You cross a bridge when you come to it, no sweat in my mouth. Okay, as you can see here, I'm gonna show you the answers. So it says number one, I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. It means letter E, which is I can't remember. Okay, when you say that you can remember, you just say like I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't remember. Or number two is a safe bet. A safe bet is very probable. Okay, when something is very probable, it's a safe bet. Maybe you say to your friend like, "Go and tell her that you love her because she's gonna say that she feels the same things for you." So I think it's a safe bet. Okay, it's like when you think that something is really probable. Number three, the way I see it, it's basically in my opinion, or the way I see things is that, or the way I see this problem is that, or the way I see the way you reacted is that. Okay, and you just keep on talking. Okay, number four, I'm toast. It means that I'm in a big trouble. I'm in hot waters. Okay, I'm toast. When you did something like really bad and you know that your parents are gonna tell you off and they're going to punish you, then you say like, I'm toast. Okay, number five, or when you made a great mistake at work and you know that they're gonna get you fired, then you say, I'm toast. Number five, you cross a bridge when you come to it is basically you can worry about that later. Like don't pay attention to it right now. When it comes to worry about it, then just get worried. Like for example, like someone is let's say we're gonna have a test tomorrow and that person is like, I'm worried about the test. Maybe I'm going to fail the test or something like that. I'm going to fail the test. and then you say, you cross a bridge when you come to it. Don't pay attention to it right now. When the test comes, then worry about it. It's just a random example, okay? Number 6, no sweat. No sweat is don't worry about it, okay? No worries or no sweat. Number 7, I'm off. Okay, that's basically leaving. Okay, when you say I'm leaving, you say I'm off. We also say I'm off to work, which means that I'm going to work. I'm off to study, which means that I'm leaving to go to study. I'm leaving my house to go to study. Okay, so I want you to do this part here. It says check hassles you've experienced and write details about them, about when and where they happened, and then discuss with a partner. Like for example, my experiences. Maybe you lost your passport. You're gonna detail it here. I missed a plane, bus, or train. I think this thing has happened to most of us. I missed a connecting flight. My luggage was delayed. Okay, you're gonna do it at home. Okay, you can do it, and then we're gonna check it. Okay, on one of our video conferences. Okay, we're gonna move to the grammar point here. It says unreal conditional sentences with continuous forms. It says use continuous verb forms in real conditional sentences to express actions in progress. Pay attention to this. We say present and real conditional sentences in past and real conditional sentences here. Okay, the structure that we're gonna use for this when we want to express like actions in progress that are unreal, okay, unreal. We can use both, you know, the if clause and the result clause. We can use them in ing form, or we can use the if clause in past and the result in the continuous form using would. Okay, look at the first example here. It says if I were walking in traffic, I wouldn't be talking on my cell phone. It means like I'm not in that situation, but if I were walking in traffic, if it comes for me to walk in traffic, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be like talking on my cell phone. Or number 2, you can also say if he walked there, he would be going through the most dangerous section of town. Like, let's see the first example. You can say if I were walking in traffic, I wouldn't be talking on my cell phone. But you can also say if I walked in traffic, I wouldn't be talking, because it says here that the verb form should reflect what you want to express. You don't have to use continuous forms in both clauses. You can also say, like, for example, if I were walking on the street like that guy, I wouldn't be talking on the phone, you know, because it's dangerous. It's like if I were in that situation, I wouldn't do what that guy is doing. Okay, that's about the present. Now, it's the same thing, it's the same like meaning in terms of function of the language in the past, but in this case, the only thing that changes is the structure. We say, if he'd been using his camera during the conference call, he would have been wearing a tie. What does this mean? This is an unreal past conditional because he was not using his camera. Because it says if he had been using his camera, only if he had been using his camera, then he would have been wearing a tie. But he didn't wear a tie because he was not using his camera, okay? Like number 2, if I hadn't been checking my messages, I wouldn't have known the flight was delayed. So I know the flight was delayed because I was checking my messages. Okay, so we say if I hadn't been checking my messages, I wouldn't have known the flight was delayed. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a conditional clause, which is the condition starting by if, and the result clause, which is the clause that is after comma. Okay, so in this case, what you have to take into account is expressing unreal situations, if it is in present or if it is in past, and be careful with the structure. Okay, sequence of tenses. The traditional sequence of tense, it's all past and real conditional sentence, past perfect in the if clause and would have plus past participle in the result clause. Can change to express time. Compare the following sentences. Okay, one recommendation for you to understand is to review, okay, the past and real conditionals. Okay, yeah, because if you don't remember that, then it's gonna be like difficult. You're gonna think that you're not understanding, but the thing is that you have to have past and real conditionals like very clear in your mind so that you can understand. Past and real condition here: if I gone to India last year, I wouldn't be flying there right now. Okay, or if I gone to India last year, I would have seen the Taj Mahal. Like, for example, if I had gone to France last year, I would be suffering of coronavirus right now. Okay? Do you understand? Okay, if you understand, then it's okay. If you don't, then you can ask any question that you have. If I had gone to France last year, I would be suffering of coronavirus right now. Okay? Or if I had gone to France last year, I would have tested positive for corona. Okay? So be careful with it. So what else here? Okay. I want you to practice the next exercises that are on this page. Pay attention to it. Here on page 65. It's 65 or 85? 65, yes. Page 65 here. I want you to practice this. It says, exercise D, understand the grammar and choose the sentence that best explains the meaning of each question. Then write with a partner, sorry. Make a statement with, here. It says, make a statement with should have to indicate that could have prevented that problem. So number 1 says, if the reservation had been made for the right day, I wouldn't be waiting for a standby seat now. Okay, then you're gonna choose which is the best option here. Number 2, if my sister had been watching her bags, they would have gotten stolen. Number 3 says, I wouldn't have missed the announcement if it hadn't been streaming a movie. So you can like choose the best answer here. So, and in this part, letter E and letter F, I want you to do it. You can start the video as I told you. You can start the video, you can do the exercises, and then we'll check it, because I cannot wait for you to do the exercises in the video, because then it's gonna be like way too long. So you can stop, you can do them, and then you can check it with the answers I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, so for this first one, we say if the reservation hadn't been for the right date, I wouldn't be waiting for a standby seat now. It means the reservation was made for the wrong date, so I'm waiting for a standby seat now. So that's like the meaning of the sentence. And the second part, which is make a statement with should have, is I should have made a reservation for the right day. Number 2, if my sister had been watching her bags, they wouldn't have gotten stolen. So my sister wasn't watching her bags, so they got stolen. And my sister should have been watching for her bags. Okay. Number 3, I wouldn't have missed the announcement if I hadn't been streaming a movie. It means I was streaming a movie, and it cost me to miss the announcement. So that's why it happened, because I was like streaming a movie. So I shouldn't have been streaming a movie. Okay, for exercise E, says grammar practice, circle the correct verb phrase to complete each statement. Number 1, if you were at the hotel now, you would be sleeping. Okay. Number 2, if we had packed more carefully, we wouldn't be paying these exorbitant and overweight baggage fees. Number 3, they could have taken the 3 o'clock flight if they had been watching the departure board. So as you can see here, we are not using a comma because we're using if in the middle, and it's working like a linking word. Okay. Number 4, Karina would be wearing her most comfortable shoes on the tour today if they weren't sitting her last luggage right now. And number 5, if they hadn't been speeding, they they wouldn't have gotten that ticket. So this is the way that we're gonna check the exercises here, and let's go to exercise F. It says per work with a partner, take turns completing the unreal conditional sentences using continuous verb forms. Answers will vary but may include the following. So number one says, if it were Monday, I would be walking to work right now. I would have been late to class if I hadn't caught the bus. Okay, it can vary because it depends on the sense or on the way that you want to complete the sentence. Those are just like some examples. Number three, we would be watching the game now if our TV hadn't broken. And number four, if I weren't home, I would be reading a book. Okay, there is no way I would have missed the train if he had woken me up. Okay, so in this part, okay, no, I'm sorry. No, we're gonna do something with this, but later on. Okay, so we're gonna move to the next grammar, which is like related, to this. It says express gratitude for a favor while traveling. Okay. In this case, we're gonna see a fixed structure that we use in English in order to express regret about the present or past actions, or remember that we're talking about unreal conditional statements, unreal conditional actions or things that didn't happen, or then we're gonna see, because that's kind of different when we talk about reliefs. So pay attention to this. It says make a present or past unreal conditional statements with if it weren't for, if it hadn't been for. Okay, those are the two fixed expressions. We say if it weren't for, if we are talking about a present unreal action or situation, and we say if it hadn't been for when we talk about a past unreal situation. So look at this here about regret. If it weren't for the traffic, we would be at the airport by now. So it means that we are not in the airport right now because there is a lot of traffic jams. So we say if it weren't for the traffic. So it's like if the traffic didn't exist, then we would be at the airport by now. Number two, if it hadn't been for my bad grades in science, I would have studied medicine. So in this case, it's kind of different because in the first one, we use if it weren't for, and we use would plus the base form of the verb. But in this case, we have to use would have and the verb in the past participle form, as you can see here, the verb study, because we are talking about a past and real situation. So we say, if it hadn't been for my bad grades in science, I would have studied medicine, which means that if I didn't have, so let's say if I had good grades in English, then I would have studied medicine. But I didn't want to study medicine because I had really bad grades in science. So we say if it hadn't been for my bad grades, so I would have studied something. If this hadn't happened in the past, then I would have done something different. Okay. Now let's talk about release. In release is a little bit different. We say in the present, release in the present. Release is like when you say thanks to this thing, then this didn't happen. Okay, like something good happened, and then I feel like I don't feel like stress. I feel like calm. I feel like oh my God, thank you for this. Like let's see the example. It says if it weren't for his 5 hours non-stop flight, the entire trip would take 10 hours. So it means that it is a 5-hour non-stop flight. If this 5-hour non-stop flight didn't exist, then the entire trip would take like 10 hours. But as a 5-hour non-stop flight exists, then the trip does not take 10 hours. So it's like kind of like tricky, but it's a matter of practicing and paying attention to it. Okay, so we say if it weren't for this 5-hour non-stop flight, the entire trip would take 10 hours. So that's about the present. let's say, if it weren't for all my partner's explanations about some topics in English, then I would be in hot waters right now to pass the level. Okay, if it weren't for in the present time. Okay, so in the second one is the same meaning in function, but the structure changes a little bit because in this first one we're talking about present reliefs, but in this case we're going to talk about past reliefs. We say if it hadn't been for your help this morning means that you helped that person, but it was this morning. It was not right now. It's not right now, sorry, it was this morning. So we say if it hadn't been for your help this morning, we would have missed the train. So it means that I didn't miss the train. Sorry, I didn't miss the train because you helped me this morning. So if you so if you hadn't helped me this morning, I would have missed the train. So we say if it hadn't been for your great help, we would have missed the train. Okay, maybe that person helped this guy to pack everything like quicker. Okay, so I hope it's clear. So we're gonna practice once again. We're gonna go to next page. No, sorry, same page, which is page 66. We're gonna do exercise C. It says, listen to the conversation and infer whether the speakers are expressing regret or relief in each conditional statement. We're gonna do it first, letter C. Okay. I'm gonna play the audio and then we're gonna. So you know that I have to do this. So I don't have a professional like audiovisual, let's say, set a like a professional audiovisual set.
Listen to the conversations and infer whether the speakers are expressing regret or relief in each conditional statement. Conversation 1.
What happened to you? You look like you fell in the river.
Very funny. I got caught in the rain. I didn't have an umbrella and the bus was late.
Couldn't you get a ride with someone?
Actually, I finally did. Ben drove by and saw me standing at the bus stop and gave me a lift. But I was already drenched. You know what, though? I'd still be standing there if it hadn't been for him.
Let me make you a hot cup of tea.
Conversation 2.
Wow, that was a close one.
Yeah. Did you see that guy? He went right through the red light. I think he was speeding, too.
It's a good thing I looked that way when the light changed to green. If it hadn't been for that, we might have had a terrible accident.
I don't even want to think about it. Thank goodness we didn't.
I guess that's a lesson for everyone. Don't count on other drivers observing the law.
Conversation 3.
Hey, Millie, I know it's really short notice, but I have an extra ticket for the Martha's Vineyard sightseeing boat. Stan has to work and can't use it. I'd really love you to come. What do you say?
Gee, thanks, Iris. I'd love to, but I can't. If it weren't for this cold, I'd definitely accept that invitation. I hear the tour is spectacular, and I've been wanting to take it myself.
Oh no, do you have that awful cold that's been going around?
I do.
I guess an open boat isn't a good place to be if you have a cold. I'm so sorry to hear you're sick.
Thanks so much for thinking of me.
Conversation 4.
Oh my gosh, this line is so long.
Well, it's to be expected. There were 5 international flights that landed at the same time. Immigration can't handle so many people at once.
Do you think we'll ever get out of here?
Could we please have your attention? Is there a Spanish speaker here? We need assistance translating for a traveler.
I'm going to raise my hand.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you speak Spanish?
I do, yes.
Do you think you could step to the head of the line with me? We need your help translating for a Spanish-speaking traveler. She doesn't speak any English.
Sure, but can I bring my friend with me? We're traveling together.
Of course. Please step this way. Wow, what a lucky break. If it weren't for the fact that you speak Spanish, we'd be standing in line until 8 o'clock tonight.
Conversation 5.
Can you believe this? A flat tire.
Oh no, now what?
What do you mean? We'll have to change the tire.
We? You mean you.
We are so late.
True. It looks like we won't make the play. What a shame. And it was so hard to get these tickets.
And we left plenty early.
I still can't believe it. I really wanted to see it. If it weren't for this flat tire, we'd be arriving about now.
Conversation 6.
Sam! What a surprise! This cruise is fantastic, isn't it?
It's really great. Joanne, I was so sorry to hear about your divorce.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. It's been a hard few months, but I'll get through it.
How long were you and Jeremy married?
Almost 5 years. And looking back, I can see why our marriage fell apart. I actually blame myself.
What do you mean? It's never only one person's fault.
Well, in this case, to be honest, I think it pretty much was. I acted more interested in my career than in my husband. I was a regular workaholic, and Jeremy had to spend so many evenings alone.
Can't you patch things up?
No, it's over. Time to move on. This trip has given me some time to focus on the future. But I can't help thinking that Jeremy and I would still be married if it hadn't been for my thoughtlessness.
Okay, so we're gonna check the answers. So number 1 is relief, number 2 is relief 2, number 3 is regret, number 4 is relief, number 5 and number 6 are regrets. Okay, so we're gonna this part here. So we're gonna listen to active grammar. So listen again, complete the paragraph of what happened according to what you hear. Use if it weren't for or if it hadn't been for. Okay, we're just gonna fill in the blanks here. Sorry. Oh yeah, it's here.
Listen again. Complete the paraphrase of what happened, according to what you hear. Use if it weren't for or if it hadn't been for. Conversation 1.
What happened to you? You look like you fell in the river.
Very funny. I got caught in the rain. I didn't have an umbrella and the bus was late.
Couldn't you get a ride with someone?
Actually, I finally did. Ben drove by and saw me standing at the bus stop and gave me a lift. But I was already drenched. You know what, though? I'd still be standing there if it hadn't been for him.
Let me make you a hot cup of tea.
Conversation 2.
Wow, that was a close one.
Yeah. Did you see that guy? He went right through the red light. I think he was speeding, too.
It's a good thing I looked that way when the light changed to green. If it hadn't been for that, we might have had a terrible accident.
I don't even want to think about it. Thank goodness we didn't.
I guess that's a lesson for everyone. Don't count on other drivers observing the law.
Conversation 3.
Hey, Millie, I know it's really short notice, but I have an extra ticket for the Martha's Vineyard sightseeing boat. Stan has to work and can't use it. I'd really love you to come. What do you say?
Gee, thanks, Iris. I'd love to, but I can't. If it weren't for this cold, I'd definitely accept that invitation. I hear the tour is spectacular, and I've been wanting to take it myself.
Oh no, do you have that awful cold that's been going around?
I do.
I guess an open boat isn't a good place to be if you have a cold. I'm so sorry to hear you're sick.
Thanks so much for thinking of me.
Conversation 4.
Oh my gosh! This line is so long.
Well, it's to be expected. There were 5 international flights that landed at the same time. Immigration can't handle so many people at once.
Do you think we'll ever get out of here?
Could we please have your attention? Is there a Spanish speaker here? We need assistance translating for a traveler.
I'm going to raise my hand.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you speak Spanish?
I do. Yes.
Do you think you could step to the head of the line with me? We need your help translating for a Spanish-speaking traveler. She doesn't speak any English.
Sure, but can I bring my friend with me? We're traveling together.
Of course. Please step this way.
Wow, what a lucky break. If it weren't for the fact that you speak Spanish, we'd be standing in line until 8 o'clock tonight.
Conversation 5.
Can you believe this? A flat tire.
Oh no, now what?
What do you mean? We'll have to change the tire.
We? You mean you.
We are so late.
True. It looks like we won't make the play. What a shame. And it was so hard to get these tickets.
And we left plenty early.
I still can't believe it. I really wanted to see it. If it weren't for this flat tire, we'd be arriving about now.
Conversation 6.
Sam! What a surprise! This cruise is fantastic, isn't it?
It's really great. Joanne, I was so sorry to hear about your divorce.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. It's been a hard few months, but I'll get through it.
How long were you and Jeremy married?
Almost 5 years. And you know, looking back, I can see why our marriage fell apart. I actually blame myself.
What do you mean? It's never only one person's fault.
Well, in this case, to be honest, I think it pretty much was. I acted more interested in my career than in my husband. I was a regular workaholic, and Jeremy had to spend so many evenings alone.
Can't you patch things up?
No, it's over. Time to move on. This trip has given me some time to focus on the future, but I can't help thinking that Jeremy and I would still be married if it hadn't been for my thoughtlessness.
If it had been for her thoughtlessness. Okay. So those are the answers, guys. Number one, it says he might still be waiting for the bus if it hadn't been for Ben. So number 2, if it hadn't been for the fact that they saw the other car, they might have had an accident. Number 3, Millie would love to go on the tour if it weren't for her cold. Number 4, they might still be in line if it weren't for the fact that she speaks Spanish. Number 5, they wouldn't be late for the play if it weren't for the flat tire. And number 6, if it hadn't been for her thoughtlessness, she thinks she wouldn't have divorced. Sorry. So it says, letter E, it says, on a separate sheet of paper, rewrite your statement using if it weren't for or if it hadn't been for. So I want you to do it and then stop the video, please, and do it. But I already know that you saw the answer. So when we're checking the listening exercises anyway, I know that you're really responsible, and I do know that you want to learn, that you want to practice, and you're gonna start the video, you're gonna do it individually, and then you're gonna continue the video because I'm gonna show you now the feedback. Okay, so start the video. Okay, so well, I can't help myself laughing at this sometimes because it's kind of new for me. So we have different ways to rewrite these sentences. We can say, for example, number 1, if it weren't for this call, I will go to the museum with you tomorrow. Or I will go to the museum if it weren't for this call. So as you can see, the difference here is that you can write if in the middle, so you can use it if like a connecting word. Sorry. So number 2, it says wake up call. I would have totally missed our appointment. It says I would have totally missed our appointment if it hadn't been for the hotel wake up call. Sorry, the other sentence starts here. If it hadn't been for the hotel wake up call. The wake up call, you know that some hotels, when you require it, when you ask for it, you say, can you please give me a wake up call at 5, and then they call you at 5. They say time it's sir to wake up. Okay. Number 4, it says if it hadn't been for the airline's test message, we would have arrived 2 hours later, or we would have arrived 2 hours earlier, sorry, if it hadn't been for the airline's test messages. And then number 5, it says, if it weren't for the flight attendant's help with his heavy bag, I would have gotten a backache trying. Backache, it's a pain in your back to put it in the overhead bin. So I would have gotten a backache trying to put this heavy bag in the overhead bin if it weren't for the flight attendant. Okay, pay attention to this part here. Here is a mistake. We say I would have. There are two halves here, so this one shouldn't be there. So we say I would have gotten. Okay. So so let me see. Okay, this is the last exercise we're gonna do here. It's letter F. It says first complete a statement with true information using if it weren't for or if it hadn't been for. Then take turns reading your information with a partner. Okay, in this case, it's not important that you see the answers because you have to complete it individually based on your own experience. Okay, so I want you to finish this and then we check it when we have our video conference. Okay, remember that it's gonna be by Zoom, so we're gonna use Zoom and we're gonna have our video conference on this great platform. So we have some vocabulary here. When that when we go to airports, we have like different places in which we can like board. So we call them gates. Okay, as you can see here, to gate 2A, gate C1, gate D2, or something like that. And we also have give me a hand. When you ask someone to help you, you can say, can you give me a hand? Can you give? We use the word give. Give me a hand, which is with this bag. Give me a hand with something. So we also have another expression which is keep an eye on my things, which is like, can you please take care of my things? It's like, can you please keep an eye on my things, or put an eye on my things, like be careful with my things. We also have to grab the back of the carousel. So we say grab the back of the carousel. The carousel, is that like let's say is the thing that they use at the airport where the bags are like that they go through a security screening too. They go like through a machine that checks what is inside the bags. So when they come out, then you grab the back of the carousel. Means like to take your bag from the carousel. And we say pointing me in the right direction. Okay, you already know that point me in the right direction is when you like show someone something and you say like point me here on the right direction. It's like show me here where I have to go. Okay, so that's another vocabulary that we have. It says recycle this language, no sweat. Remember that it's like don't worry. Oh, no worries about it. Don't freak out is like don't become crazy or don't be scared. I'm off, which is like I'm leaving, and wish me luck, which is like wish me luck is like when you ask someone like to give you luck, like oh, I hope everything gets better. So you wish me luck. And anytime is another way that we have to say you're welcome. When someone says thank you, instead of saying you're welcome, we can say anytime. Okay, thank you anytime. So guys, so I think that's the first part that we're gonna see here about the grammar, but there are some other things that we need to study. Like for example, pay attention to this. I wanted to tell you that in English we also have different ways to express things with the conditionals. We can mix conditionals. Yes, I know that that you're like, oh my god, now we're gonna mix all the conditionals? Well, some of them can be mixed. Sorry, and there are some expressions, but we're gonna start by the expressions here. Pay attention. We say use should happen to or should happen to if in the if clause. If the factual conditional, it means that the true conditional is less likely. For example, look at this example. We normally say, if you see Peter, tell him to call me. Or most of the time we say, when you see Peter, tell him to call me, please. When you see Peter, when you see him, because you're like sure that you're gonna see that person. Okay, so you say, and when you see Peter, please tell him to call him. To call me. Sorry. So, but if that possibility is less likely, it means that it's less probable. We use this expression here. We say, if you should see Peter, okay, if you should see Peter, then please tell him to call me if you should see. We can also say, if you happen to see Peter, tell him to call me. Or if you should happen to see Peter, please tell him to call me. So we use these three ways to express that a condition is less probable. If you should see Peter, please tell him to call me. So as you can see here, we use the present tense in both. We say if you should see, if you happen to see, or if you should happen to see. Okay. So now we're gonna study this part here. Okay. Expressing inferences with mixed tenses. Okay. Sometimes we can mix tenses, like here using conditionals. We can like the first part say in the present and the second part say it in the result clause, set it in the future or in the past, depending on the intention that we have. So let's look at the first example here. It says, if Julie went to the party last night, we are inferring something. Don't forget that. We say she definitely saw what happened. So I consider that if she was in the party, she saw what happened. So that's an inference about the past. So we say, if Julie went to the party last night, she definitely saw what happened because she was there. Okay. Number two, if you don't know the answer to this question, if you don't know, look, here we use a simple present. If you don't know the answer to this question right now, it means that you didn't do your homework. Okay. If you don't know the answer for this question, it means that you didn't do your homework. So that's, and we are inferring something about the past, about the present based on the past condition. What is the past condition? That you didn't do your homework. What is the thing that I am inferring about the present? Is that you don't know the answer. If you don't know the answer, it's because you didn't do it's because you didn't do your homework. And number three, if the results didn't come out yesterday, they'll definitely come out today. So in this case, the inference is about the future based on a past condition. So we say, we didn't get the results yesterday. So if we didn't get the results yesterday, it means that we are going to, or we will have them today. Okay. So and the last one is, if you still haven't finished packing by now, you're not going to catch the flight. So in this case, we're inferring something about the future based on a present perfect action, something that you haven't finished. So what's the difference between number 3 and number 4 is that in number 4, we're talking about something that you started in the past and continues to the present. Let's say that is 12, that you have to deliver a report at 12 o'clock at noon. And the report should be like 4 pages long. And it's 11:45 and you only have 2 pages. So I say, if you still haven't finished the report by now, you're not going to deliver the report on time, okay? Because it's only missing like 15 minutes and it's missing 2 pages. So I don't know if you can get it. It's like I'm inferring something about the future that you're not gonna be able to do it because you haven't finished doing something, okay? So the next thing that we're going to see is this one. Now we're going to see that we can mix conditionals to talk about past and real and true conditions in relation to the present. Okay, I'm going to give you a contest. It says you're taking a test and you're so confused because you don't remember some words. So what is my example? I say, if I had studied yesterday, I wouldn't be so confused now. So I'm talking about something in the present. I wouldn't be so confused right now, but it's based on something that I didn't do in the past. So then I say, if I had studied yesterday, I wouldn't be so confused now. So what is the structure here? What am I mixing here? In the if clause, the condition is in past perfect, as you can see, and the result clause is would plus the base form. Okay, this is the combination of two conditional. So, but we do it when we want to express like the relation to the present. We say, if I had studied yesterday, I wouldn't be so confused now. So what does it mean? It means, sorry, you cannot see it right now. Wait up. Okay, now. What does it mean? It means that I am confused now because I didn't study yesterday. Okay? And remember, inversions, we say, had I studied yesterday, I wouldn't be so confused. It doesn't matter if you're mixing conditionals, you can still use inversions. Well, it depending on the kind of inversion that you want to use, because you know that we have to be careful with it, because like the structure sometimes can be like confusing. So had I studied yesterday, I wouldn't be so confused. But that's about the present, when we want to show relation to the present. But look at this here. It says mix conditional to talk about present or real or future conditions in relation to the past. This one is in relation to the present. Now we're gonna see in relation to the past. It says, context again. You're not responsible enough, so you failed the level. So you say, example, if I were more responsible, I wouldn't have failed the level. So in this case, we're talking about a present and real or untrue condition that shows relation to the past. Okay, what is the present and real or untrue condition? So yes, if I were more responsible. If I were more responsible, I wouldn't have failed the level. So it means that I failed because I was not responsible, okay, or not responsible enough. That's what it says in the meaning. It says, down this slide says, you fail the level because you're not responsible enough. So as I am not responsible in the present, then I say, if I were. If I were, because I am not. If I were more responsible, I wouldn't have failed the level. So I failed a level because I am not responsible. So as I am not responsible, I have to say, if I were more responsible, I wouldn't have failed the level. Okay, so once again, remember the inversions. We say, were I more responsible, I wouldn't have failed the level. Okay, so I hope it's clear. And we're gonna move to this part here. Okay, now I want you to go to the grammar booster. Let's go to the grammar booster, unit number 6. And unit number 5, and here we have unit number 6. We just have like, okay, as you can see here, you have the summary of all the conditionals. We have the use, if clause, result clause, and an example. Here's what I was explaining to you. And here we have the exercise. We just have one exercise. I want you to do it, please. To circle the correct words to complete each sentence. It says, for example, number 1 says, if Sam does or will do well this year, he will apply to medical school. So number 2, water boils or is going to boil when the temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius. Number 3, if you will or should find my scarf, please hold it for me. Number 4, if you happen to see a good camera at the market, please buy it for me. Number 5, if it wouldn't have been, or if it hadn't been for her savings, Anna wouldn't have been able to attend university. And number 6, it says, if we would have known, or if we had known the car insurance was so expensive, we would not have bought a car. And number 7, if you didn't get a reply today, you would definitely hear, or you will definitely hear from us tomorrow. Number 8, if I had or would have a garden, I would grow several type of flowers. That's not me at all. Number 9, if I would have practiced or had practiced my speech a bit more, I might not be so worried now. Number 10, if I should happen to, or if I will see John, I will tell him to call you. So please stop the video once again, or if you did it with me, then let's go to the answers. But if you didn't do it, please stop the video, practice, and then we check the answers. So here are the answers. For number 1 is if Sam does. Number 2, water boils. Number 3, if you should. Number 4, if you happen to. Number 5, if it hadn't been. Number 6, if we had known. Number 7, we'll definitely hear. And number 8, if I had. Number 9, if I had practiced. Number 10, if I should happen to. So guys, I want you to practice this grammar part, and I want you to let me know if you have any question about it. So I wanted to tell you something else, and it's about this thing that we have here. Wait up. Oh my god. Where is that? Okay, I think it's here. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So pay attention. Those are some platforms that we might use now that we are in quarantine and that we can go to the university. Okay, pay attention to this. We're going to use this platform in order to do write-ins. This is like a board in which we can like write things like to share experiences or things like that. But it depends on the assignment that I upload. For example, look at this one. So in this case, it says names around the world. It was for one of my classes in, I don't know, I think it was first level, something like that. Hello guys, in this wall, you have the chance to share your thoughts about different names, and then I explain everything here, what they have to do, and then they study. Like for example, Catherine. My name is Catherine. It's meaning name. Catherine, sex, female. I don't know. That's this was what she wrote. How does this work? I'm gonna show you here. Just come here, and then you click on here. You write the title, and then we write something here. Okay. So, and then you save it. You delete it here. And another one that we're gonna use is this one that is called Flipgrid, which is a platform that I'm gonna use for you to upload videos here. So you can see record a response. But then I'll explain it to you, maybe in one of our video conferences for you to have it like later. Okay guys, so this is the end of the video, and I'm really glad that we get to unit number 6, that we can work on this. So let me come here to this part. So guys, this is the end of our video for today. So I hope that you understood everything. If you didn't, so you know that you can ask any question that you have. So guys, see you.